Okay, this is a short video tutorial to answer the most frequently asked question. Why we decide in the AGM that the levy is going to be the same as last year, however my quarterly contribution or my levy bill has increased or different than my last time. Okay, in this example I'm using a Strata plan code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and this financial year for the Strata plan is from January the 1st to December the 31st. Now please be mindful that each Strata plan has different financial year end. Some of them is like this, and some of them is from say 1st of April to 31st of March next year. Alright, I'm using this for illustration purposes. And also I have 3 financial year listed, which each color is corresponding with different tables here. I'll explain how this table work out in a second. Now the earliest the financial year is 2016, and the levy contribution for the whole year, please notice here, it's for the entire financial year, which is 4 installments, $15,000. And the next financial year, which is 2017 financial year, it was decided to keep the levy at $10,000 level. And the current financial year, which is in 2018, and the Owners Corporation decided that the levy is going to be $10,000 again, which is the same as 2017. Now let's go back a little bit to 2016. In this year, it is perfectly laid out that $15,000 for 5 units, and each quarter, all units, 5 units, is going to contribute $3,750, which is the same for the next 4 quarters. And this, you can see, is $15,000, equals the entire financial year, the 12-month period, for the amount of $15,000. Now this is an ideal world. Now here you will see a unit entitlement column. What does it mean? Unit entitlement is what was set up when the Strata plan was registered, and according to each unit's size, level, view, and etc., it is determined that the unit entitlement is this number. This was set when the Strata plan was registered and hardly get changed. Usually the bigger, the more unit entitlement is, and the higher the level, the more the unit entitlement is. In this case, there are 3 different unit entitlement: 15, 20, and 25. And in total, that's 100 unit entitlement. How's the levy calculated? In here, total $15,000. How it's calculated? That's $15,000 divided by 100 unit entitlement in total, times 15 for number 1, or times 20 for number 2, or 15 for 3, 25 for 4, 25 for 5. And you get this total contribution. And each quarter, ideally, is this number divided by 4, which will be this, 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 and this. Alright, so in the first financial year in 2016, everything is perfect. 4 equal quarterly contribution for the levies, in total $15,000. Alright, the next year, 2017, unit entitlement is the same, but the owners has decided that we're going to change the levy to $10,000 rather than $15,000. Okay, let's say we had the AGM somewhere in between of the first quarter and the second quarter. Obviously, the first quarter levy would have been sent out to the owners. And how do we calculate the first quarter before the AGM is convened? We use the last levy contribution quarter figure. In this case, is this. That's why it's green and green, exactly the same. Okay, as you can see, the levy contribution for the whole block for that quarter is the same as well. Now, because we have reduced the levy from 15 to 10, and we contributed $3,750, and how do we calculate what the other 3 quarters are going to be like? Very easy. 10,000 minus 3,750 and divided by 3, you get $2,083 for each quarter. Now exactly the same, this number divided by 100 times 15 will get this number, times 10 will get this number. So this is how the levy is calculated. As you can see, it is much less than $562.50. Yes, we reduced the levy, and also because we use the figure from a high levy contribution year for the first quarter, thus the subsequent 3 quarters will be relatively or much less. In this case, these are the figures. Alright, again, we move on to the current financial year, 2018. Now in 2018, we have decided that we're going to keep the levy the same, but the AGM has not convened up until somewhere between the second quarter and the third quarter. Of course, the first quarter and the second quarter's levy would have been sent out to the owners. And what numbers do we use to send out the levies? By regulation, we need to use the last quarter levy, which is this one. Exactly the same as the fourth quarter, same levy as this one. Exactly the same levy as this one. So you can see this is the same 2083. And the second quarter, we have not convened the AGM yet. 2083, same as this one, 2083. So you get a relatively less quarterly contribution. Now, the AGM is convened in between the second quarter and third quarter. Now, the third quarter and the fourth quarter levy will be determined so that the entire levy amount for the year will be $10,000. How is it calculated? $10,000 minus this number, and divided by 2. We have 2 quarters left. We get this number and this number. As you can see, this number is higher than 2083. As a result, you're going to have a higher contribution here. How do you calculate that? Same thing. This number divided by 100 unit entitlements times 15 for lot 1 times 20 for lot 2. You get these. And of course, the fourth quarter will be the same. But am I paying more levies? No, because as you can see, these 4 quarters are the same, $10,000. And these 4 quarters are equal. If you sum it up, it's still $10,000. So although your levy fluctuates a little bit, you paid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levies across 2 years for a lower amount, and thus this amount is slightly higher and this amount is slightly higher. And this will take in the next financial year when the next financial year's AGM is convened and the budget is set as well. Hopefully this explains the myth. You're not paying more levies. It's simply because of the contribution. In a nutshell, if you pay more during the first or the second quarter, you pay less in the third or the fourth quarter. But you have paid more in the first or second quarter, pay less for the third and fourth quarter. Sum it up, all you have to care or really have to pay attention to is the total levy contribution for the whole year of your corporation. In this case, $10,000. You sum it up, $10,000. We decided we're going to keep the same for 2018. Sum it up, $10,000, which is $10,000. Alright, hopefully this explains. Thank you.